Move up the ranks, dominate locally, book more moving jobs, and make more money for your moving company. This is Thomas here, and in today's video, I want to talk about the most important thing for your Google business profile. So, I went down this rabbit hole, and everybody has their own opinion, right? Who knows what's real? Who knows what's fake? And the thing that I want to address is the address. Do you leave your address on or do you leave it off? And I kid you not, I went down this rabbit hole and I am convinced that as much as I don't want to leave an address on my profile, it's actually beneficial. So what I did was I removed my address and I noticed that these customer interactions actually just significantly dipped. I think it went to like 38 customer interactions just removing the address, and I put it back on and it went back up to 80, 79. So I am convinced, I've watched videos, I'm looking around, I'm doing the research. I think it's beneficial to actually leave your address on. I think it actually helps Google understand where you're located, because how would Google really know? Obviously, you can put in your address and hide it, but there's more benefits, right? There's more benefits because if somebody's searching and they see that you're literally 5 minutes away, they're gonna be like, well, that moving company is right there, let me go hire them, right? I'm eating a banana, by the way, so excuse me, gotta get my potassium in. So I'm convinced, leaving your address there is going to be beneficial. I actually encourage everybody to leave their address as much as, you might not want to. I think it's going to bring in more business, right? And, sometimes just an extra one or two jobs a month is going to pay for a lot of your overhead. It's going to pay for your insurance, right? So just keep it there. As much as you don't want to leave an address on, just leave it on. I may test it, but I was watching videos and people who are SEO experts. Um, I'm not really an SEO expert, right? Like, I'm just going and learning and sharing with you, right? I was able to just, start building this profile a long time ago, but I've never really understood how to tap in, and I'm figuring it out as I go, right? But, from everything I've seen, just leave your address on. So that's number one. Um, the second thing that I found as I was researching, and this is what I'm going to start doing, I think it's kind of clever, um, this is at your discretion. Um, this It's just all about getting reviews, and it's mainly about the velocity of reviews, right? So if you're looking at a moving company, like you're the biggest moving company in your city or your town, and you're studying them, right? You're gonna want to see how many reviews they're getting in daily, right? So I hope that I'm still here. Yeah. So you want to see how many reviews they're getting in daily, and you want to like match them, right? Because if they're pulling in 15 reviews a day, right? You're gonna be, it's gonna be harder for you, right? Like, okay, so let's see their news. Like, look, they're pulling in so many reviews on a daily basis. Like one, two, three, four, five, six. Oh my god, they have so many reviews. Seven. Oh my god. Eight. Right? Like piece of cake. Nine. Oh my god. That's the thing about them, is that they kind of have the whole market 10, because they're, from what I understand, they just undercut everybody, right? 11. Look, 12. Oh my god, it's crazy. 13, 14, 15. I'm This is like, it's crazy to think. 15, 16. Oh my God. Like, this is 22 hours ago. 17, 8. Okay, 17 reviews. Like, gosh, they have a quarter of how many reviews I have. They've done that in a day. Think about it, right? So I have so many reviews. And you know, the mindset that I want to get into is just like, how do I kind of like replicate that, right? Like, imagine if I got like 17 reviews a day. I wonder how I would jump into rankings. Would I, pass other people? Would I move up the ranks, right? So my theory and what I'm working on is opening a different category where I can get reviews, because all Google really wants is for you to, you don't want to fake the reviews, and you don't want to just send your links out and make fake accounts and hire yourself and boost yourself. Don't do that. You can get banned, right? You got to look at the terms of services and make sure you don't violate any of those terms and services, right? But like, you want to, you want to figure out a way to boost your reviews, right? You want to find a way to just get more reviews, and you want to think creatively and figure out how you can do that. So, one idea that I had that I'm going to start to implement is figuring out if I can get reviews as a moving consultant, right? There's no category for that, right? So, that's probably not what I really want to do. So, let me just show you what I mean by that. When you make your account, you get to pick a category, right? You pick what kind of category your business is in. So look, moving company and packing company, right? So I don't know, do you want to, is there a way to creatively, you could do a free service and get a review for that, right? You can do something for free and get reviews for free stuff. You know what I mean? Um, I don't know. You got to think creatively. So one thing that I thought was, okay, maybe if I could add moving consultation and I provide consultations, right? As somebody who's about to book me, I can explain. I don't know if I'm going to do this, because you can get, who knows if it's 100% within the guidelines of Google. I'm just throwing some ideas. It's just like, let's say you do a consultation and you teach people how to save on their move. Maybe you could get a review for that, right? And let's say you can pump those out and you do a lot of free moving consultations. Maybe it's a free estimate. You get a review for doing free estimates, right? Because you're going to somebody's house and you're providing some kind of service, right? Even though it's free, you could, as you're in the house giving the estimates, right? You can teach them how to save on their move, and that's kind of a service in a way, right? It's a service in of itself, right? So that's one idea. If you're brave enough, do it. I would do it, but I don't do free in-home estimates, right? Like, I don't have time to do it. I always just take photos. But if you can consult them and you can get on the phone, hey, this is how I want to really help you save on your move, whatever. Just get creative with it, right? I don't know if, like, again, like, this is a risk, right? Because you don't want to get banned, right? But what I was thinking is moving supply store. That's the category I created, and I want to figure out a way where I can give maybe free moving supplies, right, in exchange for a review, right? Because let's say, you find somebody and you're on the phone with them, right? And they're about to book your service, and then you say, hey, let me just send you some free supplies, right? Like, I don't know, this is why it takes creativity, right? And you can give them free moving supplies in exchange for reviews. This is going to help, right? I've noticed, like, there's one time I was about to go eat with my friend, and I was driving and I asked him to, he wanted some ramen. So I said, oh, can you look up a spot? So he goes on Google and he looks up a ramen spot, right? And he found a place that had so many reviews, and he kind of showed it to me, and I didn't really look through it, like look at the restaurant he pulled out. But I just went, okay, it must be good, because they have like 1,000 reviews, 1,000 5-star reviews, right? So we get there, and then I realized the food wasn't actually that good. And then, I realized the food was actually kind of bad. Not, I don't want to say it's bad, but it wasn't as good for something that has 5 thousand, 1,000 5-star reviews, right? And I realized that all they really did was like incentivize people to leave 5-star reviews at the end of the dining experience, right? And that actually helps them with their moving up their algorithm, moving up the Google algorithm, right? So we found this restaurant and it was really far away, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, we should go travel. We should go eat there. Is going to be great. And then I realized the food is all right. And what they really did well was just get the volume of reviews, right? Like if you're getting customers in, think about like a restaurant. If you have like 100 patrons and 100 customers in a day, if you get like half of them as a review, if you offer a free sauce, a free soda, and you get a free and you get reviews, like you're gonna move up really really fast, right? Because the name of the game is it's getting 5-star reviews, right? But it's also getting volume, right? Get as many reviews as possible. And I looked up Piece of Cake. They got 17 reviews today. That's a lot. So my goal, that's the thing that I'm gonna work on next, is arbitraging, moving supplies to get reviews. And I want to see if that is going to move me up the rankings. So it's an idea, right? Get reviews maybe from free estimates, right? So if you want to take that chance, right? Because you're providing a service, a free service, right? You're going to somebody's house, you can get a free review, like you're there, right? If you have the time, I think it's worth exploring. If you can give away some free moving supplies for reviews, I think it's really good. These restaurants will say free ice cream after a meal, right? They don't tell you that they tell you that after, you order and you pick what you want, they'll tell you, okay, free ice cream at the end, right? They kind of let you know. And it's like, it's on you if you want to do it, but you just leave a review, you get free ice cream, right? So do the same thing, right? Um, that's all. That's the main thing that I really want to test, is like how many, it's like, how can I optimize this, and how can I pull in maybe 10 reviews a week, right? What can I do to get 10 reviews a week? And then how do I think that's the thing that I really want to mention. It's like, maybe not, don't optimize for revenue, right? Because revenue is important, but maybe optimize for reviews, because the more reviews you bring, you may be able to bring in more revenue down the line, right? So that's one of my thoughts. And I'm sorry if I'm rambling. Sometimes I repeat the same things over and over. I say the same things like 5 times. Sorry if I do that. I can be kind of annoying with that. But this is really what I'm thinking. Um, and then, yeah, get those reviews, get high quality reviews. And the final point I want to make is like, if you did a really good job, just get the review on the spot. You know what I mean? Like, as you're getting payment, as you're getting, like, when you're taking the last item in, like, just get the review right there. They're waiting on the last couple of pieces for you to bring them in, right? You're probably helping them move things around the house. Just whip out your phone, let them take a review, have them take a photo, right? I think the geotagging is going to be good with that too. But just, like, honestly, 100% review rate on the spot. If it's a 5-star review, if you think you did a really good job, don't like get the payment and then at the end say, hey, if you're free, like, can you send a review? Like, just get the review, take out your phone, send them the link, right? If you have this little QR code thing, right, you can, like, on a business card, right? This is a ticket, but it's not, like, this is a ticket. So this is New York City ticket. But if you have like a QR code, right, at the end,